But first tonight, there are allegations of widespread asbestos contamination across Sydney's southwest. A Liverpool Council whistleblower has told the ABC that management told workers to turn a blind eye to illegal processing of the hazardous material. Last week, we revealed that thousands of tonnes of contaminated soil was used near schools and playgrounds. The Environmental Protection Authority has ordered an investigation. Mohammed Taha with this exclusive report.
Bernie King has lived in his Chipping Norton home for almost 60 years. He says in July this year, Liverpool Council removed stockpiles of dirt near his home because the soil was contaminated with asbestos.
There's a mound of dirt that is contaminated all the way along the road. Dust was blowing everywhere. That when they put it there was dust. When they took it away, it was dust. And then, like my front patio was contaminated as well.
Council sent experts to decontaminate his front patio. Now Bernie is considering legal action, fearful for his health. Just across the road, pieces of fibro cement sheet are strewn all along the Georges riverbank.
They bring their children here, they don't know that there's asbestos here.
Yeah.
Yep, that's your asbestos, all that's fibre.
So if that's inhaled?
Yeah, if that's inhaled.
The United Services Union says Liverpool Council has been complacent about the extent of the problem.
This CEO and the mayor knew about this 12 months ago, and all it's done has been put your head in the sand. It's too big of a thing, let it ride over and hopefully it'll go away. Well, it's not going away.
The EPA is currently testing fill used at 15 council work sites. This whistleblower who worked for the council in 2013 agreed to speak to the ABC anonymously. He says the issue was regularly discussed with managers.
I was told by quite a few people that some of the fill that was going in had asbestos in amongst it. It was laying there for a long time. When I walked along, you could see a lot of it there. It's everywhere.
The whistleblower says asbestos material was knowingly dumped at the depot by contractors and mixed in with the soil for years.
There'd be Telstra pits and everything else, the old asbestos pits, and they'd just leave it there and mix it in with everything else. It'd be mixed in with soil, mixed in with concrete, it'd be mixed in with everything.
He says workers' complaints about the asbestos were dismissed.
Some of the leading hands said, don't worry about it, just put it in the truck and take it away. When the coordinators came out, they turned a blind eye to it and they said, keep working, keep working.
With more sites potentially contaminated, the whistleblower thinks a much broader investigation is needed.
If you've had a footpath done recently and had soil put in, ask council to come out and have it tested for your own safety. Ring somebody. Don't ignore it.
The EPA has so far declined to comment to the ABC. Mohammed Taha, ABC News, Sydney.
Carl Wolfe, the Chief Executive Officer at Liverpool City Council, is in Brookwater, Queensland. Carl Wolfe, last week you told the ABC the asbestos problem was minuscule. Now that you've heard what the whistleblower says, do you stand by that?
Just clarification, I didn't say the extent of the problem is minuscule. I said our information at this point in time is that the contamination is small amounts in different locations. The issue we're dealing with is we have a large number of locations where we're analysing what the issues are. We're working with EPA. We've engaged specialist consultants to assist us. We've engaged a specialist hygienist to look at each of those sites and advise us on whether those sites are of any problem to the public. Initial information suggests that's not the case.
Are you concerned about these allegations that senior managers turned a blind eye to the contamination and allegedly just told workers to keep going?
I am absolutely concerned about that, and accordingly I have some time ago commenced an investigation into the history of this issue, how it came about, who knew about it, who undertook certain works that may have compromised council's position going forward. We've done that in consultation with the United Services Union local delegate in the organisation, and that work is currently underway to identify the historic developments that created the current situation.
Well, the experts say that just a few fibres of asbestos can cause cancer, and we saw in Mohammed Taha's report chunks of fibro lying on the ground. Isn't that alone a major public safety issue?
I think if you talk to the experts, they'll tell you that the asbestos material in solid form is not a concern. Asbestos is a public health hazard when it becomes airborne and can be inhaled.
All right, but nonetheless, you're offering health tests for council staff. Isn't that an admission that there is a safety risk?
I think that's just prudent approach by council to make sure that any of our staff haven't been inadvertently exposed to any airborne fibrous material.
So what about the residents? Will you be testing them?
If there's a resident out there who thinks there is a reasonable case that they've got that they've been exposed to this material, and we have a lot of information on the different sites that are located around the city, I'm happy to have a dialogue with those people. And if the testing is an issue, that is not an issue for council to undertake some of those tests.
Carl Wolf, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Protest